Thank you for joining my channel. We are continuing to discuss about different topics that you're interested in. And today we will be discussing about depression symptoms and how you can support yourself by using a solution-focused brief therapy approach if you are experiencing any symptoms of depression. You are welcome to ask any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'm trying to answer to them. It often happens that if a person is under stress, they might be experiencing depression symptoms. Sometimes it's also called highly functioning depression when people don't even notice that they are having depression symptoms because they are able to go to work, they are continuing with their daily duties, responsibilities. However, on the background, there are depression symptoms, and when they are not noticed, it can be challenging to treat depression symptoms further. Therefore, becoming aware of these symptoms and asking yourself different questions and trying to respond to challenges that depression symptoms might cause in your life can help to improve your overall well-being and help you to slowly recover from these symptoms. It's quite normal to have depression symptoms since we have a lot of stress nowadays in our lives. There are a lot of responsibilities at work, at home, and it might be difficult to find time for yourself, to spend time for yourself. And maybe you are feeling fatigued, maybe you have low energy, maybe it's difficult to stay focused, concentrated on your work, or to be present in your relationships. And maybe you stopped enjoying things that you used to enjoy, and you feel more tired and want to stay alone, isolated, and maybe you become hypersensitive towards stressors. This can be all symptoms of depression. And here today we are going to discuss which questions you can ask yourself to help yourself to discover the resilience and strengths that you already have, and which strategies that you already used to help yourself to cope with these symptoms and to slowly recover from these symptoms. Depression oftentimes attacks identity. Maybe it's whispering that these symptoms are permanent, this is who you are, but your history tells a different story. And in this live session, we kind of focus on what is still working inside you, which version of you still shows up, and small bridges that you can take instead of giant leaps to help yourself to recover. And we are going to explain effort to recover as a strength and how to lead yourself through emotional weight. You don't leap out of depression. Depression symptoms will not disappear overnight, but we can slowly help ourselves how step by step we can take steps towards healing, towards the version of us that we want to become. And depression may be loud, but it doesn't get the final word about who you are. Today we are going to walk through using solution-focused approach, not by digging into everything that's wrong, but by uncovering what's still right, what's still working, and still alive inside you, and how you can use these features, skills, strategies that you already have to help yourself to recover. We'll begin with your hopes, what you would like to hope and achieve as a result of listening to me today, what change you would like to see in yourself. For instance, if you don't want to feel depressed, what you would like to feel instead, and which version of you would like to see, what you would like to be different as a result of listening to this video and attending to this session. If this conversation was really helpful for you, what do you hope that it would give you? Maybe it's not changing everything at once, but maybe it's slowly taking small steps towards a peaceful version of you, maybe feeling a little bit relieved, or maybe you would like to hope to increase that you will recover. And if this depression isn't eased even slightly, what would you notice about yourself? What would be the first sign that depression symptoms are decreasing? What would other people notice about you, and how would your daily habits look like? How would your interactions look like? How would your speaking to yourself would change? And if you were not feeling depressed, what you would prefer to be feeling instead? Would you like to feel peaceful? Would you like to feel joy? What exactly you are hoping to achieve? It's important to understand what change we want to see, because we will be after that slowly asking you questions about how you can achieve this state of happiness, joy, or peace that you are hoping to achieve. What hardships have you faced before that you can now look back and say you are managed successfully? Oftentimes, people get fused or focus on the challenges that they are having, and they forget to think about their blessings or their achievements they had in the past. Probably you would notice that in the past also, when you had difficulties, it seemed as if it was too difficult and this would never pass, I would never recover, I can never get out of it. However, after certain time, you were able to overcome these challenges, and you used a lot of efforts, strategies in order to overcome these problems. But at the times when people feel depressed, they forget about it, and it seems as if this is the worst situation they are in, and it will never get better. However, thinking about exceptions and your resilience, your achievements, your success in the past, and what exactly you used in the past can help to give you insights and increase your motivation, hope, and improve your mood. So, what we focus on is important. Each time when you notice that you are focusing more on negativity and challenges, try to step back and remind yourself about times when you succeeded, about times when you were able to react differently to stressors, when you could stay peaceful or relaxed or more resilient towards stress, and what exactly was there that helped you to achieve this, which strategies, which features, which environments, which people helped you, and what did you notice about yourself that helped you to achieve this outcome, and which habits, for instance, which mindset helped you to achieve that, and what difference did it make for you, for instance, in the past, if there were a lot of stressors and if you were feeling depressed, what helped you to decrease symptoms, what helped you to react differently, what helped you to stay helpful, peaceful, caring, present, or kind. And what did you lean on? What did you tell to yourself? What did you refuse to give up on? What helped you not to collapse? It all matters, because you can still use these resources to help you to achieve the version of you that you want to achieve. For instance, imagine if these stresses were still present, if there were a lot of challenges, but if you slowly start to use these resources, if they show up in your daily life, what difference would it make? Uh, what change it can create in your life? For instance, if the stresses were still there, but you stayed more patient, more creative, more peaceful, more joyful, more trusting in yourself, what difference can it make in your life, in your day? What would other people notice about you, and what difference would it make for them? And how would you know that this version of you is showing up? At the time, some things maybe felt impossible. Now they are part of your story and not your identity. And in the same manner, each time when you coach yourself on the thought that this will never end, this hardship will never end, that maybe you have some thoughts that I will never able to recover, remind yourself about those times when things felt impossible, but now they are a part of your story and not your identity, and you were able to recover and to overcome these challenges. Depression wants to convince you that this is permanent, that this is who you are, but your history tells a different story, and you have moved through hard things before. When you are depressed, oftentimes people talk about getting your life back. This can feel like being asked to build a giant bridge across an ocean. However, when we focus on the smallest thing that we can achieve, it will be easier to achieve change rather than setting very huge goals. So, what's the smallest thing you can do in order to invite this preferred version of you into your life? For instance, how do you make a small bridge instead of a big bridge to create that internal connection? Instead of asking, how do I become perfect, amazing, 100% happy, successful again, try to focus on smallest steps you can take. What is 5% movement towards the version of me I want to be? Maybe it's stepping outside for 3 minutes. Maybe it's going for a walk for 10 minutes. Small bridges build real crossings. They build momentum and trying to, for instance, at times when you feel sad or overwhelmed or fatigued, how you are generally feeling and what are you generally doing. And after that, trying to understand how you would like to feel instead, how you would like to react instead, and what the smallest step you can take in order to achieve that sense of being, that version of you can help to create momentum and to help you to regulate your emotions. Because oftentimes you would notice that if you are going for a walk, even when you don't want, if you are trying to connect to someone, to care about someone, even when you don't feel like speaking to anyone, oftentimes helps you to improve your mood, to feel better, to feel more hopeful, motivated, and uh, repeating these patterns that are helping you to feel better, to recover, can help to create a movement, a momentum, and to keep this recovery going. So you don't leap out of depression. Every step forward, every inch counts. And let's talk about something important, that how depression impacts your identity. So, if the good sister, parent, child, colleague, student version of you gets to show up even when you are feeling sad or depressed, how would others start to notice this? What difference would it make for them and for you? And what would you notice about yourself? Would you be listening a little longer? Would you be patient? Would you be kind? Would you continue to speak to them even when you feel numb? So, what they would see about yourself, what they say, he or she is tired, but she is still trying. She is quiet, but she cares. He or she is hurting, but he still shows up. And what would they remember about you as a good person, as a good parent, colleague, student, grandparent, grandchild? Maybe it's not perfection, but it's not endless energy, but consistency, kindness, efforts. And what are some good things that you have done before that they might still remember? Maybe it was teaching them something, comforting them when they cried, making them laugh, supporting them. Oftentimes, when people are depressed, they have too narrow view of themselves and they focus more on the problems or failures or moments when they couldn't succeed or things get wrong. But when you start to dig deeper into the history, you will find a lot of evidence when best version of you has already showed up, when this joyful, creative, peaceful, patient, kind version of you was there. And remembering those moments and asking yourself what helped you to become that version, what made it possible, what was there about you to learn these skills from other people and to integrate them into your life, how your habits, how your mindset and thoughts, emotions, behaviors helped for that to occur, might help you to inspire yourself, motivate yourself, and to keep going and taking small steps towards that version of you that you want to become. And those successful moments didn't disappear because you are struggling now. They are evidence of who you are. They are just waiting for you to remember them and to awaken them. If you had to work really hard to show up when you feel fatigued, tired, what would you be most pleased to show up as? Would you like to be a patient, present, gentle, playful, even for 10 minutes, for 20 minutes. What would you most want your kids, parents, colleagues want to see you during those moments? Is it strength, trying, love, even on your worst days, that you still choose small behaviors? Depression impacts feelings. It doesn't take control of who you are, but beliefs matter, thoughts matter. What are you using as your guide at times when you feel tired, fatigued, sad matter? How you would like to respond when these challenges caused by depression show up? And when your responses to depression would start to be influenced by the skills and features you want to see in yourself, or if you are able to respond to depression symptoms using the version of you that you want to become, even slightly, something powerful happens inside you. You become reconnecting with yourself, with preferred version of you that you want to connect with. And that's the moment of change. That's the moment where everything is changing and you are slowly taking steps towards the version you want to become. If people whom you care about, who are important for you, could see you through their eyes during times when you will be guided by the person who you want to become, whether it's present, gentle, calm, kind version, curious version, what would they see and tell? Would they tell that my sister, my brother, my mother, or father, grandchild was tired, but they still played with us, communicated with us, that they were fatigued, but they still listened, that they were uh, exhausted, overwhelmed, but they have tried? You can be hurting and still be good, and both can exist. However, at times when you are depressed, depression oftentimes says that it's impossible to take steps when you feel depressed, when you feel sad. However, when you choose to take steps towards the version of you that you want to become, oftentimes that's the point where the change happens. For instance, if your boss notices you have had a hard time but sees you being present at work, what would they notice first? Is it that you are showing up, that you are completing your tasks, that you are communicating even when you feel tired or want to stay isolated? What would your boss be impressed by knowing how hard you're working to be present? Is it effort under pressure, integrity, or professionalism despite struggle? Depression tries to erase effort, but effort under emotional weight is strengthened. Exceptions when times when you feel better and when depression symptoms decrease also help to give us insight about what you can do in order to take steps towards your well-being and to feel better, to recover faster. Other moments, even brief ones, when depression eases slightly, maybe you are, maybe it happens when you are feeling distracted, when you are helping, supporting other people. Maybe when people whom you care are happier, they are laughing. What's being different about those moments? What are you doing differently? What are you telling yourself differently? Who are you being in those moments? And what helps for these exceptions to take place? These exceptions are cracks in depression certainty, and cracks let light in. If people started to notice that there is still a good version of you inside you, what would they see? What would they see you trying? What would they see that you are trying instead of isolating yourself in despair? What would they see you choosing presence over withdrawal? What does being a good version of you look like even in the middle of depression? Maybe it looks like getting up when you don't want. Maybe it looks like communicating even if you feel numb, asking for help instead of disappearing. And it's not weakness, it's a courage. So what we were discussing so far is that you have survived hardships before, you know how to endure, how to overcome, and you can build small bridges and take small steps that would make you closer to that version of you that you want to become. Even during the days when you feel depressed, sad, overwhelmed, exhausted, and sad, the good version identity is still alive and others can see effort even when you feel broken. You already have exceptions, you already have strengths, and you already have everything you need. Depressions might speak loudly, it might try to convince you, but your actions tell a deeper truth that you are still showing up, and showing up while hurting is one of the strongest forms of love and kindness. If tonight, after watching this, you did one small action, one small step that aligned with the version of you that you want to become, what would it be? Would it be doing something for yourself, finishing one task, sitting beside someone quietly, or taking small steps that would help to improve your overall well being? Every small bridge you build strengthens the connection back to yourself. And you are not your depression, you are not your feelings, you are not your thoughts. You are a hurting version of you, and you can still love powerfully. The good version inside you hasn't disappeared, and they are waiting for small chances to step forward. And you don't have to leave, you just take one step forward. Hope these videos were helpful for you. Don't forget that these videos cannot replace treatment. These videos are just to help to increase your awareness and to help you to ask yourself different questions that might help you to support to feel better, to improve your mental well-being. However, if you feel strong symptoms of depression, and if it's uh, if it's impacting your functionality considerably, don't forget to reach out for help, whether it's your family doctor, psychotherapist, or any other kind of professional support. Don't neglect yourself, and if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments, and I would like to support you further. And don't forget to subscribe and follow me if you want to listen for this kind of content. And you can also leave your comments, which questions you would like to be discussed here. I hope this video was helpful. Take care of yourself, and see you in the next videos.